Hey, welcome back, YouTubers, to another hashtag TTH bold update and review. We are on part 3 and very close to the finish, guys. Yes, I well, those of you that have been following the videos and updates, I went to the start, and then obviously part 2, and then my plan for part 3 was going to show you the base paint job and then the next few layers, but I had a little bit more time than planned, so I kind of motored on. I kind of sped up purely because my timestamp for this terrain piece has just been pushed forward. There's a chance I'm going to be using it in a game in the next 2 weeks, so I wanted to try and get a bit of a head start, and ended up doing a lot more than I'd planned. I'm not 100% finished. I'd like to try and source some mini sandbags that are in 1 in 70 second scale, at least for these little dugout areas, just to complete them. And then obviously a little bit more dry brushing, detailing. There's some rocks I want to paint over and that, and add a bit more foliage, and then some dead twigs and branches. So yes, a bit more, but overall we're about 90% there. So let's dive into it. So the minis on the table right now are just for scale purposes. So the hill is a lot bigger than I'd planned. So I mean, if I had, sorry, the Sherman isn't painted, but I mean that should give you an idea of the scale of this terrain piece. I mean, I know there are others out there that have been used in games that are. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get my phone to focus. There we go. Apologies. A bit larger than that. So I've got some 82nd Airborne and some Jeeps going up the hill to do some recce recon. So let's dive into it. So the last few days, a lot of painting. I had to seal a few places to make sure that when I went over with the overcoat of spray that it wasn't going to eat into the foam. So I had to do that. And then while I had been waiting for the paint to dry, I found some grit I had in my cupboard where I keep all my terrain materials, and I glued it down in this pattern. And at the time I was like, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to like that. And to be honest, with the dark brown and the blends, it actually looks a bit like a hill woodland path. It's a bit neat for wartime, but yeah, so just to differentiate between the road, because if I left it bare I would have had to do a lot more dry brushing. And so yeah, I've added some trees, did some gluing on top of the bunkers top sides. I had to fill them in because, as you remember in the beginning, there was a big hole. So now at least if the player wants to put a MG nest or mortar on top, by all means. That's why I want to kind of get some sandbags going so I can give it a bit more fortress cover look. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Yeah, a lot of dry brushing I've just finished here to try and get this. I tried to differentiate between the foam. I mean, they're not the greatest cutouts here with a carving knife, but this is supposed to be quite solid rock. And then obviously you've got your soil and plain, whatever you call it, guys, the shaping of the hill. There we go. And then some craters and that. So this place has been a bit bombed out and that. So that's why I want to now complete it with some dead tree branches and twigs and things like that. So yeah, again, the minis are just to show scale. I embedded some stones from the garden in here, so it gives it a bit of a contrast between just earth, the earth look. Good Lord, guys, I apologize. I'm not getting these words correct tonight. It's been a long day. Bear with me. And then a bit of rock. So it's also to try and show that my idea with this hill, when it's going to get used in the game, is... Apologize, guys. I don't know what's going on with my camera tonight. There we go. So my plan is, the attacking player has to sort of, if he wants to get vehicles onto this hill, he's got to come through that gap. After all the research I did on Hill 400, there was the Hill 400 was a lot more circular, but there was a road that the Germans had barricaded off that had sort of gone in like almost not a spiral, but all the way up, going past blockhouses and bunkers and MG nests, and then right on top was some form of fortification. So in this case, it's a bit of a mini version, but you've got the track that goes like this. So, like I said, you're going to have to fight for each piece. So my idea is infantry, for example, I'll tweak it in the game, but like they can go here, but then they're going to have to, there'll be some minus modifiers for climbing under fire, or like infantry can maybe go up there, but vehicles have to come that way. They can't go directly up this way. So yeah, it's been an interesting build. I must say I've thoroughly enjoyed doing terrain again. I haven't for a while, so I'm a wee bit rusty. It's not the best work or the neatest, but my original plan of the shape of the hill didn't work out exactly the way I planned it. It's more or less what I had drawn up, but I was a bit limited for foam, and unfortunately what I should have done ideally was stuck to pieces of iso board, which is actually these pieces here, which are a lot thicker, and you can do a bit more carving with them. I had to make do with very thin pieces of styrofoam. So in essence, once I get iso board, I could do another layer underneath and just fit it under there, a bigger gap, and make this even higher. But again, for transport reasons, it isn't sectioned off. So it's not, I was going to do basically cut this in half and have it two pieces, which would have made more sense in terms of transport, but I didn't, because I was worried about a seam. So this is it, guys. I mean, it's, yes, like I said, I'm not unhappy with it. There's a few things I wish I'd done in the beginning, but we live and learn, I suppose, with terrain creation. But all in all, I am not too disappointed. I must say, these makeshift coin tin box things I bought at the stationery shop make pretty good bunkers. You guys, again, can let me know what you think. The grey is a bit light. Once everything's done, I do plan on going over them with a bit of a darker wash. And then sort of get you a view there, guys, of the other section with all the rock and that, more foliage. So yeah, a few tweaks here and there, a bit more detailing. Hoping to find a bit of a terrain kit like that one from Italieri with all the sandbags, barbed wire and tank traps to add to this. But in the meantime, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes with the game I've got in mind. But we will see, and I'll take photos of that and put it on the necessary Facebook groups. But again, you guys can let me know what you think. I'm sorry, it's not the best angles here, but I will neaten this up once it's 100% done and do maybe one more video. So this indeed will be video update 3. So there will be one more part 4, which will be the 100% completion with maybe a few more tweaks and that. And then, like I said, guys, who knows, depending on how the game goes, I might do another level, but that'll go from underneath, obviously, and then just cut out and shape and do what I need to do. But all in all, the colors, I'm very happy with it. It was a lot of mixing of browns and then one all overcoat of spray. But yeah, it was a bit of an accelerated project. Keen to get it onto the table, to get the Wargaming group's opinion as well. But yeah, you guys can let me know down in the comments what you think. Thanks for the support so far, to all of you supporting the channel. Like I said before in some of my earlier videos, when I do unboxings or build reviews, it's basically this. This is what you see is what you get. There's no animations or anything. It's just good old-fashioned, me talking and showing you guys what I'm currently working on or building, or my reviews on kits. So as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm a few away from 500 subs. Help me get there, and I will do my best to keep pushing out decent content in terms of the hobby. But otherwise, I salute to all the fellow terrain and hobby wargamers out there, and terrain creators. And of course, let me know in the comments what you guys think. See you in the next video.